My story starts on December 25th, 2020. All day as I celebrated Christmas with my wife and our two kids, I felt off as if something was wrong. At one point while letting our dog outside, I heard someone say my name outside, and when I turned around, I was the only person out there. But this has not been uncommon for me throughout my life. It just happened multiple times this day, which was not normal. As the day progressed, I felt more worn down. I carried a few things down to our basement from Christmas, and I was whipped. The kids woke us up around 5 a.m. like most 11 and 8-year-olds do on Christmas morning. So we were all tired and ready for bed just after 8 p.m. We all went to bed as we did every night, brushing our teeth, saying prayers, and then saying our goodnight. This is where things take a turn for the worse. At around 3 a.m. I sat straight up out of bed, looked at my wife, and asked her why she shook me and what was wrong. She claimed that she was sleeping and never touched me. I had severe pain in my shoulders. I was shaking uncontrollably and overall very anxious. My wife and I agreed that due to it being early Saturday morning, that I could either wait until later in the day to go to the urgent care, because my back hurt so bad I could go to the ER to get checked out. For other reasons that I will get back to, I decided to go to the hospital. Oddly enough, at the hospital, I never got a red light or never saw another vehicle on the road. I arrived at the hospital and they immediately started checking me out, as I was the only person in the waiting room. My pulse and heart rate were slightly elevated but not alarming. Due to my symptoms, the doctor said even though I was only 38, he was going to run some tests, including an EKG, just to make sure that things were okay. The nurse came on, put the leads on me and said, "Sir, you are having an active heart attack." She pressed a button on the wall, and before you knew, there were a dozen people in my room with me. From ripping my clothes off me to getting me into a gown to placing emergency adhesive paddles on my chest just in case they had to shock me. I do remember someone standing over me and saying, "Don't worry, you are going to be okay. I am here with you." Not to bore you with the next week's days of basically sitting in a hospital bed, I will tell you that I ended up having one stent placed in the lower left side of my heart. I had a blockage in one artery. My cardiologist said that I was lucky, that most people in my situation would have taken Tylenol or aspirin or something, went back to bed, and never woke up. He told me that I survived a widowmaker. Fast forward to 8 weeks later, I returned to work. I work in home care and I see patients in their homes. I had a doctor's order to go see a patient, and when I arrived, his wife answered the door. When she greeted me and opened the door, she said, "You've recently been through a traumatic experience." She said that she was a grievance counselor, and she could feel the energy around me. She told me that my grandmother was with me the whole time and was watching over me. Keep in mind, this is the first time that I had met this woman. She continued to say that my grandma didn't want my family to experience the same grief that she and my mom felt. As my eyes swelled and tears ran down my cheeks, I realized who shook me in my bed and woke me. Whose the voice it was who told me to get up, that something was wrong, and who was standing over me in the emergency department telling me that I would be okay. I was overcome with emotion. I don't know why I deserve this second chance, but it was given to me and I am doing my best to make the best of it. There are more details, but that will be for another day. Disclaimer: I know that this isn't your traditional paranormal story, but for some reason, I felt like I needed to share it here. Perhaps someone else needed to hear it. Not all spirits are bad. Sometimes we need to remember that.